You know what? I love this so much. Hey, Let, I think now you could hear me, right? Amazing. Well, there we go. You know what? I'm gonna do the start again.
We did not turn on the mics, guys.
No.
Chaos. Chaos unfurls. Um, Thank you for your patience. Um, let's start again. Let's start from fresh. Guys, imagine that what happened until now didn't happen. Welcome everyone. Oh, my
I
microphone
mean,
fell off.
it
This is
honestly
terrible.
didn't happen for them because it,
True.
we should imagine that whatever happened until now didn't happen.
Nothing happened. Let's push
Take a deep
aside
breath.
the um whatever happened. Welcome everyone to our new form of live sessions that we are trying to get the hang on. As you see, we are still learning, called Free Flow Talks.
Free flow talk.
Flow. Why did we choose the theme that we are talking today, which is Unexplored TTRPGs idea? Well, because people from our Patreon voted this.
Thank you.
Um, those of you that are interested in supporting the small little studio that we have over here, and if you feel like whatever we are doing here helps you, brings you a little bit of joy in your morning, or makes you ask yourself, you know what, I could have spent my time better. Please go to our Patreon and support us, and maybe in the next month when we do another free flow, if that is voted, your idea could be the one that we talk about. Now, we are talking about the unexplored TTRPGs idea. How many times am I gonna repeat TTRPGs today? Somebody keep track, and at the end of the live, we're gonna see how many shots we take at
How
the end
many
of the session.
TTs do we have?
How many TTs we have? Um,
8 across all of us.
Not again.
They missed it the first time. Didn't
yeah,
they? The
yeah,
first
yeah,
TT
exactly.
talk, the
You
microphones
missed
were on
the
mute.
first
So
TT talk. Why did we reach? And why I think we reached this um, theme that we are discussing is because classical D&D, at least for me or at least for the people that I talk about, can get a little bit stale. Ideas that keep repeating themselves, and that lack of being surprised or uniqueness, right? And sometimes, even for us DMs or even players, it's hard to come with these unique ideas because we don't have. You know what? You know what? I think you should move to the other side, like you can get over there. And before our dear friend, we're already friends, Led Zeppelin, said that we don't have our microphones on, I was about to suggest a game. So I'm gonna say a word, and you are going to tell me what's the first thing that comes to your mind. Jonuts, elves.
Crown Wars.
Okay, that was not the answer I was expecting.
Ears.
Okay, and I
Oh,
didn't ask.
TTRPG wise.
Yeah.
Feywild.
Okay, Steph. Dwarves.
beards.
Just let's make sure, in order to have like a smooth audio stream, let's just speak even until we get better microphones and in the mic. So
So yes, beards.
Beard. Carla. Dragonborn.
amazing. And also scales.
Now, what I was trying to
Horny.
do with this game was to sort of
A
like
little bit.
show the idea that we got very used to elves being represented by people that dwell in the forest, right? Dwarves are in the mountains, halflings are in hills because Lord of the Rings said so at a certain point in my mind. um Alignment in a way becomes predictable, and people either get really stuck on it or they don't care about it at all. Magic, and you can disagree with me if you do not agree, becomes uh, simple, becomes normal instead of.
Becomes a little bit predictable. Like everything, magic is everywhere. It's an easy resource to access. It's just there, and it's not exciting anymore.
Mhm. um I will
No.
turn the camera towards you.
No.
No.
Not exciting, magic, but I get it.
We are talking like in the standard D&D sort of fair on setting where you sort of have the expectation that usually you would get magic and you know already all the races or all the like medieval European inspired setting, and it can get a bit stale if you don't have like a DM who sort of tips keeps things on their toes and surprise you, I think.
Well, speaking of that, I've seen that many times. DMs um, don't realize that they're running a low magic setting campaign, and they're actually surprised when they're being told that, because I guess it's the fantasy element that they love so much. But there are a few guidelines on the level of magic that a setting has, and Faerun is the one of the higher ones indeed.
Yeah.
Um, but there are others. For example, Greyhawk, that it's actually a low setting magic.
Mhm. I think Greyhawk is the sort of, if correct me if you disagree, if the sort of setting that has the fantasy element, but it puts a nice spin to it because it has the low magic.
It's actually more relatable because
No?
Have
you
no
you
idea.
mentioned, no, okay,
You
you
you go. I'm all ears.
you mentioned medieval earlier,
Mm-hmm.
so Greyhawk is more medieval, like in that sense, like sword and sorcery. um, there's a lot of political intrigue. Magic is not that common. um, they even have a big bad evil guy Sauron, like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's I think easier to relate to a setting, to an original setting like Greyhawk, for new players than it is for Forgotten Realms.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What I'm thinking right now with everything that you said is that I've been thinking for a long time about uh, creating a Middle Earth Second Age setting, which is low magic. There's a lot of limitations as to what player characters could do with magic, and I think that Greyhawk could be a great setting for Middle Earth.
It is, and it has a plethora of adventures and campaigns, and most of them are modular. It even has a fan base that keeps pretty well. It's a website that has a lot of data about what you would want to play next, and the map. It's pretty good. It is the original setting, so it has a lot of info and hard time players, hardcore players.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but if you want Lord of the Rings, I think
The
there is something about that, right?
yeah, even the first edition, if I remember correctly, don't crucify me if I'm not. The first edition, it's very much inspired of Lord of the Rings. Like even
Yes,
yeah.
but it's a lot higher magic, and there is a current setting, but it's third age, and I want to go back to when elves were barely meeting humans.
I see.
The romantic period in the
Yes,
middle
yes,
in the Middle East, in the
yeah.
middle sorry,
In Beleriand, in
in the
Beleriand.
middle sorry, no Middle East.
Let's keep it only to
Yeah, yeah,
Greyhawk
yeah, yeah,
politics.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's go. Let's go there. So I think we can start exploring. So we established this. Like the standard setting in D&D Forgotten Realms has been done a bit too much in the last period, and a lot of modules have come up even with like this new 2024 edition. And
Mhm.
how are we keeping as DMs, as players, as people in the community things exciting and like get out of this fantasy high magic situation where we're at, and it's sort of warm and cozy, but how do we surprise our tables? So we're starting with Greyhawk. That is also like high fantasy, European medieval inspired,
It's
but
low fantasy.
low fantasy.
Yes, it's low magic, I think is the correct term.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it is more like the European medieval times.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, magic is not that common for people to have. What else? Oh, it's of course being the original D&D set. It's made by Gary Gygax himself.
And when did he made it? Like when he started D&D and it's inspired from there, or in recent years? I'm asking because I don't know anything about Greyhawk.
I don't know exactly when they started to name it Greyhawk. Um, Even the original D&D itself, it started as something they come up with
Mm-hmm.
because they wanted to play it, and I think that is sort of kept in D&D to this day because it's very flexible. Um, like you said, people usually use the Forgotten Realms for all sort of games. Maybe it's not the best setting for what you want to play, but it's also easy to relate to if you're a long time player.
Question, Mr. Sir, DM Sir, Greyhawk Sir. Let's play a game. Games. Why? Hello. Why are you pointing the? Let's look at the typical D&D game, right? That we got used to. What would you bring from Greyhawk, for example, to your D&D game to give it a twist or make it more interesting?
Well, that's a great question actually, because being the the setting that was used for so many sorry, technical issues, for so many editions, um, they have a lot of adventures that have become iconic in the meantime, like what what was that, like the Red Hand of Doom, like the Temple of Elemental, what was it called, Temple of Elemental Evil, I think, um, and Tomb of Horrors also.
Oh, Tumba Horrors.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know
so
that
you
one.
can just bring them, and like I said, usually they're pretty modular, so you can just bring one of those classics into your campaign, or you can just not name your campaign,
Mm-hmm.
not name what setting they're in, like most DMs usually do.
Okay. Okay.
But as a player, would you guys prefer to like keep the setting open, or and I'm just asking also the people at home and you guys, or have it defined so you know what to expect? Like it's high fantasy but low magic, or it's, I don't know, very realistic, inspired like broody sort of setup that it's very realistic, like in The Witcher, but you have some fantasy elements like monsters and a few like, I don't know, magical characters.
I think people usually don't really care that much. They just want to have fun, to play.
Hmm.
Um, and but sometimes DMs indeed they have a vision, and they would want to stick to it.
Hmm.
For me, at least as a player, it's both, because sometimes, sure, I'm going in blind. I have a character I created. The DM vetted it, said that it's kosher for the campaign they're running, and I'm gonna discover the world that the DM is creating for me. But if we're playing something like The Witcher or Middle Earth, or maybe we're going to Narnia or whatever, I want to be able to sort of tune to that setting, attune my character to that setting, and role play and really feel the atmosphere. So knowing that the setting is closed to that
Hmm.
helps a lot with playing my character.
Um,
Do you have an opinion?
I was really thinking about this as you were talking, because usually, or something that I do with and in my games is whenever I start a new campaign or start with a new group, I put expectations. Like, what do you expect from this campaign? Do you want it to be serious? Do you want it to be casual? Do you want it to be fun? Right? Do you want it to not be taken so
I mean,
seriously? No, in the sense that
Yeah.
you want
like
it to be
loosey
comical.
goosey. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And for me, for example, as a DM, I I don't know if I could do fun or loosey goosey, right? But maybe it's because I don't know a setting. Do you guys have like a setting or
Oh, I
something
do
for
have a
that?
setting that is fun and loosey goosey. Do you want me to go next? Okay.
I
I think
mean,
I have one too, but
oh my god, so many loosey goosies.
So, I will go next with the. We talked about low magic setting, right? But what about the fast food setting? And that's right. I did some research, and there's a campaign called Feast of Legends, and it's made by Wendy's, like an RPG, a TTRPG. Wendy's, the fast food chain, with the square burgers that's only 100% real beef, not frozen. Like always, it's fresh.
the frozen beef is real too. It's
Yeah,
just
sorry, sorry,
frozen.
sorry. Like just it's always like fresh beef. They don't do frozen beef for whatever reason. And I have this. I'm gonna even show it to you guys. 1 second. I have it here on my tablet.
Frozen beef.
Frozen beef. Steph, if you can, or Yunus, can you
Okay, okay.
point it and then read the intro?
So we have first of all,
Throw it at the camera.
Yeah, yeah. Go. We have the beef keep. Okay, yeah, you have
I
to,
don't.
honey. You have to go a
I
bit,
don't
yeah, yeah,
understand.
closer.
You want to say?
Show the people at home.
As we narrate over it.
Food
So
war.
yeah,
Remo says food war. What's food war?
it, I don't know what's food word. You can stay a bit closer and sort of scroll through it since we don't have the graphics.
We
okay,
don't
I
have
will,
We
graphics.
don't have the graphics department. We're very poor, you
I
guys.
will,
We
I will,
need
I will,
support.
but I need my both hands. So take
Yeah,
this.
yeah. And I'm gonna narrate over it. So what's interesting about this Wendy's RPG is that it's really made out of in the world of the fast food chain, and the BBAGs are like the main like evil guys is. Yeah, it's very cool. Like it's a joke. It's a joke. It's also an ad, but it's taken so serious that it's entirely fun. Like you have Queen Wendy, who's always clapping back at the frozen kingdoms who are trying to go into her realm that she governs over, and it's called Freshtovia, and the enemies are the frozen food forces. And the BBAG is the ice gesture. It might be a pawn to Ronald McDonald from McDonald's, but yeah, I really thought that Burger King was next to it, but they went with ice gesture. So yeah, and if you go and this is the setup how you make a character. Part of the setup is going through orders. As this is inspired from D&D. It's a new TTRPG on its own. You can make from scratch characters that are part of different orders. If you can go a bit higher to see that's the DM part. The orders, you can be part of the order of the beef, order of the chicken, order of the side dishes. Like you can be the order of the potato.
You have to choose.
Yes, and it's sort
The
of
order of the sides.
the sides.
Amazing.
Yes, and I think sides are things like barbarian. Yeah, and beefs are like warriors. It's so fucking cool, you guys, and it's also free. And Wendy's did not pay us. I would like a sponsorship if you could do this. And I also come with this campaign comes with some controversy, and we're gonna talk a bit um about it a bit later. Yes, yes,
But
yes.
people are like really loving your visual presentations.
Yeah, it's very very nice. So, Steph, if you may read the intro to sort of tease these people at home about this amazing campaign.
Before that, would you guys in the comments, however many you are, um,
We love you.
would you have like a one shot of this? Do you see it as a potential part in your long campaign to like bring a little bit of a comic relief to a serious part of the campaign?
Don't tell Rooks about this setting. The puns would never stop.
Oh my god. Yes. Yes.
What am I doing with?
Read the intro.
Oh, okay, sure. So I should read the
Yeah,
intro.
yeah,
You are adventurers in the realm of Beef's Keep, where nations have been splintered over major disagreements in how to treat the realm's people. Creeping Vale and the United Clown Nations, United Clown Nations, oh my,
This sounds
have
like the US.
yeah, have led their people into a collective darkness known as the Deep Freeze. While the world currently feels like a cold and desolate place, okay, it's spring, chill. You reside in the one nation that remains a true beacon of hope, Freshtovia. Okay, so this is Wendy's, I
Yeah,
suppose.
yeah. Because they don't do, and it comes from the product attribution. Like they do not do frozen beef or frozen things. They everything is fresh. So yeah.
Freshtovia is known for its lush fields, signature dishes, and red-headed queen. Ooh, Queen Wendy. As Queen of Festovia, Wendy has clapped back at all attacks on her borders. She is strong and has maintained her nation's integrity despite growing pressure of the other nations.
Protect the burger.
Protect the burger.
Yeah, and I also do have some this I have some also some intrigue regarding this launch. So this is no surprise to anyone. This came out like an advertisement campaign. I think it was launched before the pandemic in 2019, and it's okay like to take it serious, and it's even like at the beginning it has something like roll 44s for a total price of I don't know $4 for a pack of fries. I don't know, it's very fun. And it has like puns like that. Please read it. We're gonna also put it in the comments once the live is done, or if I get a chance during the live. However, when they launch it, they partnered it and sponsored with Critical Role. And the episode that was GM'd by Sam Riegel and took over the whole crew was taken down the next day for two reasons. First, the people did not like it because it was an advertisement, and they sponsored the episode. You can do that. Like
Mm-hmm.
if if people if the stream needs it, you can like
Yeah.
run it as a sponsorship. However, there were a lot of people back then paying Critical Role and paying subscriptions for fresh new episodes, and they got like an entire episode that's basically a sponsorship.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Ah, I see.
and I don't know, like me knowing the situation right now, I don't know if Critical Role like I don't know. I'm not gonna judge it, but sometimes like streams like us do need sponsorships to live and pay rent and pay like an editor and so on and so forth.
If I may butt in, I think at the time, sort of Twitch's database was leaked, and people were able to see how much creators were making, and there was a bit of a scandal because Critical Role was making a lot of money from subscriptions, and that's why people got upset.
Yeah, and they were a giant. However, I'm not judging them for this. I think it was a bit overboard. But the next bit, this is why people got upset, and I don't. I hope I'm not gonna jam the name and mismatch words. Uh, like back then, Wendy's did not join in the U.S. the headquarters, the Fair Food Program, the FFP, which
Okay.
basically it was a protection coalition for the immoral I mean, it's a protection coalition for the workers
Mm-hmm.
and farmers and so on. And all the major food chains like Yum with Pizza Hut and KFC and so on and so forth joined. McDonald's joined, like all the big fast food chains apart from Wendy's, and they decided to move their production in Mexico. And I think this is why the US people got very upset
Mhm.
with that situation
I see.
particularly. However, I went through it. Like it has like a build your character with sheets and like the orders, and it's very nice. And also the DM part, which you can easily run for free sessions, and it's nice. It's an entire parody with puns and jokes. And if you have like a side burger, not necessarily Wendy's with it, I think it would be amazing with fries and so on. Yeah.
You definitely need food on the table
Hmm.
because if you'd just mention all the food in there and not be able to eat it,
Yeah.
I'm already hungry.
Wendy's sponsor us.
Like
Yay!
Wendy's, we don't. If you could please send like a few orders of burgers and fries, at least that would be great.
Yeah. So as I shared the link of the campaign, someone else goes next with the research.
Okay, I can talk about Spelljammer because
sounds great.
I recently started.
Sounds a bit like a porno.
Carla, please go home.
Okay.
um,
Wow, that worked.
yeah,
What are we gonna do now?
gonna jam some spells.
Oh my god.
Uh, I recently got into it, even though unknowingly I have been watching content about Spelljammer for a while.
How did you watch it unknowingly?
Well, sometimes I just listen to D&D lore,
Oh,
and
yeah,
the videos just play.
yeah.
And Spelljammer is this setting where it's D&D but in space. Came out in 1989, I think, and I like the way it frames the rest of the settings as being part of the same universe that you can travel across. Um, all the worlds are crystals inside the phlogiston space. That's what it's called. The space between the worlds is made out of phlogiston, which is a highly explosive um, ether, I suppose, because nobody knows exactly what it is.
Sounds safe.
Yeah, well, that's why people don't take fire into space and they don't use cannons or anything like that. They fly ships
Ships without cannons?
and they use ballistas and trebuchets and stuff like that for ship battles. And
Like, can you have fire in space because there's no oxygen?
yeah, well, physics wasn't taken into account
I
when they created this. They have pockets or envelopes of air and gravity that they live in. As far as I remember, how it was explained that the direction gravity pulls on a ship, it's whatever is convenient,
Oh.
Oh, I see.
Oh.
and it sort of sets the it kind of plays with the races from D&D as well a little bit
Mhm.
because every ship sort of is driven by the helm. You have a big chair that you sit in as a not a cleric but a magic user, and you attune yourself to the ship and you fly amongst the stars. Except for the dwarves don't power their ships with a helm with magic. They power them with magic
Awesomeness.
forges. They build a forge inside an asteroid and they turn that into a ship.
The asteroid.
Yes, I found that
Wow.
I really liked the idea of how they played with dwarven culture. The dwarves will find an asteroid, they will mine through it a little bit, build a forge, and the ship, which is the asteroid, is now powered by the creativity of whatever they make inside that forge, and they will for decades mine an asteroid and fly it through space until all of the asteroid has been spent, and then they will go and find a new asteroid.
How do they cultivate carrots then? Or, I don't know, celery? I know they don't like it in Lord of the Rings, but
I'm not sure. I haven't looked into that.
wow.
They probably trade.
I actually played a bit of Spelljammer, but it was like a campaign that had a section in the Spelljammer space, and I realized there was a lot of homebrew there because we had cannons.
Well, yeah. Normally, what happens in Spelljammer, if you're outside of your ship, if you're in contact with the phlogiston, um, anything that is fire, any open flame or anything, if you have a candle, right now it's no longer a candle flame. It's something that burns your hand. If you have a lantern, maybe it will burn your whole arm. If you try to use a fireball, uh,
I did. I played the
canonically it
wizard.
explodes at the origin point, so it explodes in your face and it deals 3 times the damage a normal fireball does.
Okay, I need to send a thank you letter to my DM at that point.
Yes. So I've seen discussions about what other races that are not set in Spelljammer, but you're open to using any other race. What you could bring into it, and people were thinking Fire Ganassi would be a fun a fun
Nice.
one. Uh, but it's most more or less agreed that once you exit the crystal balls that envelop other worlds and you go into space, though any fire is extinguished and heating and light are done by magical sources.
Makes
Also,
sense.
an awesome thing that I found about this: gods cannot exist in this.
All right, because
in this
they need
space.
followers, and that
They
only happens in the crystals. Yes,
they cannot cross the crystal barrier
I
out
see.
of the world, and they cannot exist. So
But they do
pl-
cross between worlds.
there are portals,
Yeah. Okay.
but they cannot cross into the phlogiston. And it's interesting to play a cleric
You're right. I was thinking about cleric. Yes.
because most of your spells won't work unless your god is very strong, very powerful god. Then some of your spells might work.
Who said choosing a god for a cleric isn't important?
And also, there's the whole ship mechanics because your ship is a whole new character. You have to think about what kind of ship it is, what it's made of. Could be made of anything. Like dwarves have like little mountains they fly through space.
That's
Viking ship.
amazing.
I want a Viking ship.
Yeah, you can have a galley,
Since we talked about food, can I have a sushi ship?
a sushi boat. Yeah, I don't see why not. It's
I think
The kind of like they're presented usually like the sushi boat, and you have sushis there, but you never get the boat when you order home.
watch for the space masters then.
um the elves have very intricately decorated ships. Uh,
They have the time for it.
no, well, in this setting, elves are very tight knit, and they have like the largest fleet of ships, and they are very particular to what their ships look like. They don't change the design. There's no creativity. There's no room for creativity there. They have very beautiful butterfly-looking ships, but they don't. They're made to that specific blueprint. Gnomes have interesting ships because there's something only they could understand.
Illusion? Or-
No, they're just very complicated.
Oh,
And humans, I think they go all around. But for flavor, I would probably use a galley or something like that.
I see.
Question. Hola, mi amigos, ¿cómo estás? Soy yo, tu amigo Paul. I have a few questions. First of all, to you guys that are watching, I hope you enjoy your coffee or whatever you're drinking right now, because I know you're drinking something.
Ooh, coffee.
Um,
Bear.
would you rather explore dungeons or space? What would you do? Do you see yourself
Dungeons in
having more fun
space.
exploring space or dungeons? Because I think like this is it's a pretty big separation between you either go fantasy, right, or you either go space fantasy, right? Let's look at what was it, Star Trek? What those with space? Good job, Carla.
Well,
Um,
Spelljammer, Paul. Did you pay
Spelljammer.
no,
attention?
no, I was like, cause there was this series of I'm gonna get so much hate right now.
Farscape.
I was thinking about the TV
Firefly?
series, that
Firefly?
big TV series with space, with the Enterprise. What is it called?
Star Trek.
Star Trek. There are
How dare you?
space orcs. There are space elves. There are space dwarves. There are space whatever version of
They're
it.
not dwarfs there, Paul.
What was first, the fantasy or the space?
The fantasy.
Fantasy.
The fantasy wasn't written in books.
What are we doing?
And then I don't know, Paul.
I'm
Well,
joking.
let me
Do you
ask you
read?
this: what
Do I read?
for you? What genre does Star Wars fall into? Fantasy or sci-fi?
Sci-fi.
It's a space western.
You got magic wizards with magic swords.
No, it's a space western. That's the genre.
You know what?
It is.
It looks more like Eberron with all that technology there.
Yeah, where magic is used as part of the system. It's the oppression. It's the man. And they also have corporations. So yeah,
We love corporations.
the Eberron setting does love
Oh,
corporations,
yeah.
and Ravnica as well.
Now, if I think about it, the Starforge in like the old Republic times is sort of kind of like a ship in Spelljammer. It also uses magic for propulsion. It uses somebody who is strongly attuned to the dark side.
Well, I guess those are your doors for you.
Yeah.
Paul,
Hello, it is me. I'm just like the reset button. So we had a comic. We had leisure games of fast fooding. Then we went into space, where you can. I think you can combine space and fast food. How cool would it be to have like a fast food airship that travels to space and you take up orders from space dwarfs?
And it's made of sushi. I said it first.
You know what?
Kiki's
That's true.
space delivery service.
Do we have other more relaxed, more sort of like chaotic settings?
Oh yeah.
Relaxed? You want relaxed settings?
Well, that not so much pressure of fantasy politics and stuff.
Oh, I have one with fantasy politics, which is Ravnica. I have a Rick and Morty prepared. What do you guys have prepared?
I also know about the Rick and Morty one.
And I know a bit about Dark Sun.
That's intense, but I love it.
I watched like a 30-minute video on it, and I barely touched the subject.
Yep. It's a
So
bit hard to understand at first.
yeah, Paul, pick. Have your pick. We have a Rick and Morty. We have Eberron. We have Ravnica. We have Dark Sun. We have I don't know. We have Daggerheart.
Daggerheart. Oh
I
yes.
think that's more
Umbra.
known. I
Umbra.
think that's more known, like everybody knows Dagger Heart. Let's start with Rick and Morty, because maybe not a lot of people know with that, and then move to Dark Sun, and then move to
Eberron.
Eberron and Ravnica.
Yeah,
Was
yeah,
that it?
yeah, yeah,
Yay!
yeah. Steph, you do the, or do I do the talking and do I present the? Because I also have.
We do the talking.
Okay, we do the talking. So, Rick and Morty has launched Rick and Morty's versus D&D, or D&D versus Rick and Morty, and it's basically the bundle that you can get. It's basically a starter set in D&D with pre-generated Rick and Morty characters. You have Rick, you have
No, I
you have
think
Morty, you have
Rick
Morty.
Rick is the DM
Yeah,
in this.
Rick is the DM. We're gonna talk about this later.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
we'll go
Uh,
into it.
so Rick, you know his personality. He's
Yes.
this megalomaniac, unapologetic character, and now he is taking a starter set with the rules, and he's rewriting or making notes on his own rules. Like, yeah, and he's like the archetype of super hyper power meta gamer.
That
Power, power,
actually sounds
power.
like fun.
Yeah, and it's insane. And it actually sounds like a lot of people in our community that are power gamers. But yeah, going about that. So he's unapologetic and he thrives on being the one who sets up the rules and the one who like dictates and calls judgment, and it's insane. So you're reading through the rule book, and I'm gonna go at the screen and show you. You're gonna see like several annotations and there's always role for interpretation. He makes some actually some good points there.
Yeah, so I feel like the vibe that the DM is supposed to have in this module is that old school DM who's trying to kill their players, their party. That's what the vibe is going for, but you do it in a fun way. You do it in an ironic way. Um, you've got like Carla said, you have a few pre-generated characters, so you're not only playing as Jerry or as Beth or as Morty. You're playing as Morty's character in D&D. You're playing two characters at the same time. You have
Oh, I
Morty's
see.
Morty's character, which at the table you are Morty playing this character.
I see.
But those are the pre-generated characters. You can create your own.
Does he also makes fun of I don't know D&D rules or something?
Yes,
Uh,
yes,
I
constantly.
I
So
love that.
you have the dungeon master's manual with the adventure and how you're supposed to go through the module, and you have all sorts of annotations that you can read out loud to your players when they do stuff.
I want an animated series with this, and I want to see how he makes fun of find traps. Who doesn't find traps?
I haven't gone through it in that much detail, but I bet there is something about it in there.
Lovely.
Apparently, there's a section where you meet Meeseeks, and from what I've in the campaign, yes, in the campaign, in the module that they created. There's a Me6 section that what I've read, at least from people playing it, was that they TPK'd about 6 times at that part of it.
You know, I always see that module and I always pass it by. Not any longer.
I've watched the IGN playthrough. I didn't watch it all the way through, but I skipped through it. Apparently, you can lose your ass in this campaign.
Wow.
You can lose part of your ass.
And sorry to jump in, they have all this in the campaign that Steph was talking about. All these nice nods and Easter eggs from Rick and Morty episodes. They even have a pickle room. They also have a curse, like instead of having the lycanthropy, you have the lycanthropickling.
Wow.
um,
So you're not a werewolf. You're
Okay,
just pickles.
just a second. Hey, Prav. Much love from Romania to you, our New Zealand friend. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Carry on.
Carry on.
Carry on. So it's amazing, and I'm also gonna put the link for you guys to check it during our live and also later on. But they're I honestly, if you like the modules, buy them because these one are not for free, are just
Yeah.
from the internet
What
with ads.
made me wonder about this, or what this made me wonder about more, uh, because I've seen all sorts of collab. Be careful. All sorts of collab modules
Stop enjoying it,
in
Carla.
the shops. I've seen the Rick and Morty module. I've seen the Stranger Things Eddie Munson module,
Oh,
and
nice.
I always thought they're like, it's like buying a book with a different cover. It's buying the starter set with a different skin.
I'm gonna go there and show you guys the lycanthropickling.
What I'm wondering is specifically the Eddie Munson Stranger Things module.
Yeah, that sounds like if it's as well written as you're
The Rick and Morty
suggesting
one.
with Rick and Morty and with the Wendy's one.
Honestly, I want it now.
uh,
I'll have to look into it though.
you know, I know there's a lot of criticism about the campaigns in so many last years, but that they're not written very well compared to the
Mhm.
expectations, I guess. But what you're describing here looks like it's pretty well thought.
This one, yes, it's very fun. It's very nice to introduce new players, but you have to be careful about that because uh, this setting requires a mean DM who makes fun of his players. So
That's easy to come by.
if you have the right people, then maybe you find some people who'll be a bit sensitive about the DM being mean to them constantly.
Oh yeah, you definitely need the lines and veils beforehand.
Yeah. Or just go with someone who's mean and is unapologetic about it and you just take him as they are. We can also go through. I show you earlier the artwork, which is incredible and very true to Rick and Morty of the pre-made characters. You also can find, if you buy the module, pre-made character sheet with a beautiful design. Do you want to read them, Yunus or Steph?
Why is Jeff, right? That's Jeff. Why
That's
is he
Jerry.
Jerry? Why is Jerry the wizard?
Well, apparently in this setting, Jerry actually. Let me put the set up the frame. So Morty wants to play D&D,
Right.
and Rick is gonna be like, "Oh, you want to play D&D? I'm gonna show you D&D,"
Okay.
and he coaxes the whole family into it. Jerry was in his youth a huge nerd D&D player,
Oh my god.
so he knows how to play D&D,
Oh my god.
and he's got the half elf wizard.
Of course.
You who's called what? Kir Baravan.
Min Maxer.
You
Yeah.
have Beth playing. Wait, which one's Beth? The wife or the daughter? Oh, it's
Uh,
the wife.
The wife.
Lion Amaranthia, a wood elf cleric. You got Summer playing Ari Strongbow, a half elf fighter. Morty is playing Keith Silversun.
he looks like he's having too much fun.
Yeah, half orc rogue. And there's this character, Meatface. I don't know who Meatface is because the original character's name is also Meatface.
My god.
So it's basically it's Meatface as you know him.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's Meatface playing a human fighter.
And probably after he dies, he's mid phase the second.
It's frozen Meatface.
Probably, yeah. but not in Wendy's because they do not do frozen beef. So before I take the mic to Paul, I just want to say this like whole vibe of of Rick and Morty versus D&D or D&D versus Rick and Morty is that is a big uh, a fourth wall breaking experience,
Yes.
and you're taking it seriously and you're embracing like the obnoxious DM, but TPK. Oh my god, I'm gonna kill you guys. Oh my god, I know so better, and you're going with it and making fun.
Yeah, it's basically made with metagaming in mind.
Exactly.
I love it.
Me too.
You know
I'm
what I actually love more? Based on your setting of low magic that you were talking about, your notes, uh, Remus told us that he just watched a while ago, and I really like this idea. I might start watching the campaign. A campaign called Lucifera, which is surrounding the idea that Da Vinci's inventions actually worked.
I mean, well,
I
some of
mean,
them
They kind
did.
of do,
well, yes, but
but I know like be actual usable in war and
ah,
for flight, and I get it. I get
it's really cool.
The
Let's let
helicopter,
it.
the medieval helicopter, the medieval.
Yeah, let's Google it and see what we can find about it.
Well, I know about the bridge, which is a genius way
Yeah,
to build a bridge. Let's see. Let's see.
but I've seen the helicopter work. It was in Red Hot Chili Peppers video, I think.
Does the submarine, the Da Vinci submarine, work, or was that not the Da Vinci?
I don't remember that one. I
Well,
remember the tank though.
I remember from the Da Vinci Code, there's several things, and especially the. Oh, I don't want to be stupid here. What's called
Yes, I
the
know it's
met?
stupid also.
It's okay. The flying device. That's an interesting piece that didn't work. I even went to a museum long time ago, but I forgot all about it.
An interactive one, like
No, on when I was young, and in high school, they weren't interactive museums. We barely got a PC that worked at home with internet.
yeah. Now there are these interactive Da Vinci museums,
Mhm.
and they recreate some of his work, and they actually let you use it to see how it works.
yeah.
It's so amazing. You're just having fun playing.
Yeah. The
But you can imagine like we play D&D, Forgotten Worlds and medieval, but go a little bit further into the Renaissance. Have some high heels, have some Baroque clothing, and
Yep. Guns,
helicopter.
antimatter rifle.
yeah.
This is exactly from what I remember correctly is what Rusavira did. It went to the
Renaissance.
Renaissance period of our great Europe, and it puts a lot of accent on arts of political intrigue, on this technology that could have been
You
quite
know what?
epic.
I would ask our smart chat because they might know the setting better. Do they have some pointers or some cool things that we might talk about?
So I guess everyone would want to play rogues because of Assassin's Creed.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
I was thinking about Assassin's Creed.
Ezio Auditore.
Prende il microfono.
Yay.
Yoy. Um,
You wanna say something, Paul?
I would be very what really caught my eye regarding this is that at the end of the day what's really important is setting the expectation of the campaign, because let's be honest, what a D&D campaign is the creativity and inspiration that a DM, the person that runs the campaign, finds itself in. So what I find really cool is when people bring the ideas like they did in Lucivera, where they brought probably their love for the Renaissance era and they brought it to life and found other players that had the same love, and they created an amazing story regarding that. And that in itself is what storytelling is about, right? And what all of these modules and settings are about: telling a story and making it personalized based on the group and the DM.
Or retelling a story and embracing a cookie concept like frozen beef or Rick and Morty. Power. metagaming. I don't know, because that's not necessarily telling a story. It's like going with a vibe.
I just realized I love pickles. So
Wow.
Rick and Morty is also a food setting for me.
Oh yeah, I have a pickled Rick and Morty official pickle at home that it's in the juice. I'm gonna bring it. It's a huge pickle. I'm gonna bring it and we're gonna share it together.
Are there pickles in the Dark Sun setting?
Um, okay, never thought of that, obviously. Um, I think you can do it basically because while it's very different, it has common elements. Of course, it's not completely alien. Um, so the biggest difference, let's start with it's that Dark Sun is not connected to the veil of magic.
At all?
Okay,
Yes.
so no
So
magic.
the connection broke at some point. So in order to use the magic, you have to take it either given by a powerful being, and by the way, there are no gods also,
No gods.
no gods because it's severed
And when you say
from the
powerful beings, what do you mean?
powerful
Like a
beings
warlock.
means like the sorcerer kings who can
Okay,
grant power almost warlock like
okay.
for like a patron to a warlock and you might think that because there are no gods you don't have clerics, but you do. And there are these clerics that are actually given power by the sorcerer kings, who are some crazy powered beings. And you also can get powers from the what are they called, the enemies of the gods, let's say the primordials, which is an aspect that is quite rarely explored.
They have explored it, I think, in Exandria and in this new setting, Aruman from Critical Role. But usually, like in the Wizards of the Coast setting, it's not very explored.
Yep.
Yeah.
In all my campaigns except Dark Sun, I only encountered anything related to primordials once. That's it.
Where?
Oh, it was a campaign that we've had with Count Bear and Rooks, and
Keysera?
I no, it was the Golden Forge. It was in Forgotten Realms. Basically, Rooks was a barbarian empowered by a primordial.
Oh, that's nice.
So if there would be a group of people that would enjoy Dark Sun, what would you say that group of people would be like? Or
Uh,
what would they love in a campaign?
well, I think there's all sorts of people. Um, what's so
Dehydrated people.
dehydrated people, yes. So okay, there is this element that you have to keep track of resources, and usually in our games we don't do it to a fault, or we don't do it, but it kind of makes sense to at least do it a little bit regarding water, regarding how much you're dehydrating based on your armor and what's it made of. Usually it's bone or chitin, so keratin, sorry, not chitin.
Oh, was for
I
kittens?
was thinking
Keratins.
about eating kittens.
I think you're right. It is called kitten, but
Chitina,
yeah,
like.
yeah.
Okay.
Kitten armor.
And that's not as punishing as metal armor, but sort of fortunately, you don't have a lot of metal in the world, so that's easier to go by without cooking yourself in the armor.
Another question. Since you said that there is no magic,
There is
what
magic.
so
There is no magic veil, so you don't have free access to it,
so
like
what do you have to take so you can cast
the
magic?
life force around you.
That sounds
Yoy.
badass.
So that only applies to arcane magic, and
So you get high on life.
You
yep,
wreck life. You
yep.
wreck that life so you get a better life.
You don't have to use it, but you're a more powerful spellcaster if you do. And that's part of the reason why Dark Sun is a desert world, basically, because it's called defiling, taking that life to empower your spells. you can see the appeal, Paul. You want to cast a 6 level spell,
Oh, well, yeah,
and
I've
instead
always
of
wanted
using your spell slot, you try to
kill
take
a
the life
tree.
around you.
Amazing. Guys, would you survive in a world where casting spells kills nature?
It sort of reminds me of
Nature.
the Warcraft orcs doing their
Oh, the
portals.
Gul'dan, and yeah,
Yes, yes.
uh, uh,
No.
not.
It's not smile and wave.
Yep, exactly. Exactly like that. Except what they showed there, at least in the movie, I don't know how they did it in other parts of the franchise. It's more controlled and only targeted towards the living being.
Yeah,
Whereas this defiling, it takes the life of what we played it as. I don't know if that's the canon description. Basically, when you cast the defiling magic, all around you there's a circle of
non-life.
scorched earth.
It kills your gut bacteria.
Yeah,
That's too.
like antibiotics. Um, it reminds me a little bit of the Laffy. I don't know the spell. I'm not gonna. So in the Witcher scene, there's a scene at the college. They're learning with Yennefer, and they drain a flower to get magic.
Right.
Yes, and also there is, I think it's in the game when Yennefer wanted to talk with someone that has passed, and she went into a grove of druidic magics, and she literally sacrificed the most sacred of groves just to
Yeah.
talk to one person. So yeah, it goes.
So it's a common concept. Every setting in D&D uses it, but they have access to the veil of magic, so they don't have to defile the surrounding. Which, but you could, in theory, power your magic even more if you would use defiling on other worlds. You just don't know about the concept because you can't travel to Dark Sun to learn this, so you're not aware.
I think
I can do whatever I want. Don't tell me I cannot travel to Dark Sun.
Sure, roll a d20.
Yeah, I'll go get one.
I think this would be interesting to add in, like, as a homebrew element, like inspiring from Dark Sun. Have like the wizards be able. I think that they wizards do it where they maybe can sacrifice the area around them and maybe
You
empower the
fail.
spell. So you could inspire yourself from Dark Sun and put it in your homebrew campaign. Like, yeah, sure, you can instead of rolling 6d8 for damage, you can roll 9d8, but you're gonna kill the world around you. Are you willing to do it?
Yeah. And actually, if you try to even use arcane magic, and there's people usually can tell the difference between um, clerics and arcane magic and psionics, which are a very big thing. Almost everyone has a psionic talent in that setting. Because if they recognize you as doing arcane magic, they recognize the danger that you're doing to their environment,
Mm-hmm.
and
You
they would,
get crucified.
or they won't wait until they find the cross. Yes.
Well, there we go.
So speaking of homebrewing, that's something that I think many people playing Dark Sun do. Not because they want to change the tone, but because there are some elements that you would want to just keep out or keep them veiled at least.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main Achilles heel of Dark Sun because it uses a lot of well, can I say it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Say it.
It uses a lot of slavery there, and nobody wants to actually see that.
Cancel your
And
notes right now.
yeah,
No, let's not. I mean, slavery existed, including Romania. Didn't they found like
It
10,
existed. It
10
doesn't exist
it,
anymore.
it still
It
exists. Like,
still do. It still do.
No,
and in
no.
Romania, it was not long ago. I think
It
50 years ago, they found like some people, some people.
Romania had the longest bout of slavery of another ethnicity, so we know about it. I think Korea had the longest running legal slavery ever.
yeah. So it's not something that you really want to add to
Yeah,
a game where you want to be relaxed and have fun and um
You need some enemies, you know.
Yes, yes.
The slave
But
makers,
but you
great
can't
enemies.
you can't have slavery as your enemy in Dark Sun because it's part of the very fabric of
Yeah,
it.
it's the lifeblood.
Yeah,
It's not the enemy. It's like it's how things work, right?
yeah, and the it's being empowered by the sorcerer kings, and you can't battle them, and even they cannot battle them even if they want to. At one point, one of them tried,
Mm-hmm.
and fun fact, you might hate the setting for this, Carla. They only have one dragon.
But at least they have one.
Yes,
That makes babies and is not fed and is overworked.
and
Oh,
the dragon is actually a jailer of Rajat, a very powerful being that can bring about the end of Dark Sun of Atas, the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And it needs life force in order to keep that prison active. So usually they demand a tribute. You wouldn't use your taxpayers to pay that tribute. But if you, at one point, one city, it's an annual tribute, I think. And at one point, a city refused to pay the tribute, the life tribute. So instead, the dragon went on the rampage, and the citizens, horrified, they agreed to reinstate the tribute because it was so bad.
that's a bad dragon.
So, if you guys
Again, from the top.
want, so if you guys want a gritty campaign where you will maybe hit on some topics that for some are not uncomfortable, yet for some, as I've known people, DMs even that in a way to combat or in a way feel like they can look at this element, which we want it or not, slavery and humankind that is suffering is all around us. And it's not easy to look at it in the real world, right? But when we go into high fantasy, we can, in a way,
You can choose
you can choose exactly, and you can look at it from this maybe detached point of view and say, I can actually change something, right? And it helps
or
someone.
veil it. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
And in our games in Dark Sun, we focus on having enough water. We wouldn't actually use the rules for creating spears out of bones, but you can do that a lot if you want to keep more track of your resources. But it had to do with political intrigues, exploring psionics,
Mm-hmm.
how much useful is a barbarian in place where magic is not that common.
Smash.
So,
Cool.
we talked about food. We talked about space. We talked about desert. We love it, Dune. I actually watched
Pickles.
something that we talk about pickle. How about we talk about, and I'm sure we have a setting regarding maybe not so much about exploring the outer wilderness and exploring dungeon and space, but keeping it into an urban setting, exploring a city. Is there something like that?
Oh, yes, there is something like that. And it's a pity we don't have David because he's the master on Ravnica. I am just a person who did a bit of research and played once. So, this setting, it's an entire planet. There is this endless cityscape. Like, you do not have to walk through forest, there's no traveling time. Everything from top to bottom is just one big city.
Think of medieval Coruscant.
Yeah,
I was thinking
exactly.
of that. Yeah,
Exactly. And it's controlled by 10 guilds, and these guilds are kooky as as they can come. They're
cookie.
kooky, kooky and weird. I don't think I have the Simics, for example. The Simics is a very interesting guild that basically it takes creatures from, and they have to have access to oceans, and they take creatures from the ocean and sort of incorporate. And for example, you take a crab and you now you have like a cool
Now you have
crab
crabs.
hands. I don't know. And they have all these mottos, and they're basically controlling the world, and in a very interesting way. We also have new races, but however, in this setting, you can have like political intrigue, and you can focus on that. You can also focus on faction war and espionage. You don't have to basically create a plot, the world is an entire plot
Mm-hmm.
for this type of setting. Um, what else? It's a techno magic metropolis that basically is spread in these 10 districts that feuds the war between the 10 guilds. What else? What else?
Oh, Renaissance Prague. Very nice.
Yeah. It's a gothic medieval Coruscant. Yeah, I think you said it.
Yes,
Yeah,
yep, yep.
yeah. It's like it's Renaissance Prague. You said something about it.
Oh, Renaissance Prague. Yes, we love Prague. I went to Prague once. Varsovia. Is that the capital, right?
Yeah.
How is
Warsaw,
it called?
Warsaw,
Warsaw.
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 That's a
Warsaw.
different country.
Oh my god. Well, I am stupid in three different classes.
You're not stupid, Paul.
I am.
So
Uh,
Prague is the capital of the Czech
Prague is
Republic,
the capital
and
of
it is like
Sweden, and it is located in the African continent.
I don't know. I'm gonna just put it on my
planet
finger.
Mars. Uh,
Yeah. Uh, so you have a lot of things and new races like the Vulcan. I think I like the Vulcan, and I think I made the Vulcan that is was inspired on Baby Yoda. They sort of have like this wisdom and like overall peace arc, but they're amphibious. It's very hard to explain in words. But however, the main
explain
things
it by dancing.
I'm gonna explaining by dancing. The main thing is that you have a lot of guilds that are sort of go like mad scientists. You have like a guild that it's for barbarians and it's a beautiful artwork with a barbarian cyclops, and they're basically running it like it's Mad Max. So it's insane. You have chaos anarchists like the Rakdos. I hope I'm pronouncing them correct. Or the mad scientists like the Simics that I told you about. They have to have access to the oceans and they sort of mash in different constructs, and they always have like like an aberration creature or a new experiment that's running loose through the city. It's insane. It's big, it's urban, it's political, it's chaotic, but sort of structure and everything and everyone is part of a system. Think about it like it's Game of Thrones, but with in terms of politics, but in terms of the setting, it's like cyberpunk vibes.
Yeah,
Who doesn't like some steampunk?
we love steampunk. Honestly, I would inspire my. Kala, stop pointing at me. That's not nice.
A
Pointing.
campaign written by Jules Verne.
Oh yeah. And talking about steampunk, I would also visit Eberron a little bit.
Who's Eberon and why is
Your
he here?
friend. It's your friend.
The,
I just
we
closed
can
the
visit
microphone.
Eberron.
Ah.
Have we been invited by Eberron?
I don't know, but it's a cool place to be. Talking about dragons,
Oh
Eberron
God.
is
Here we go.
has like a protective field that it's made out of a dragon that sacrificed. The dragon is Eberron itself.
Oh my
Oh,
Did you know
God.
there were
no,
three major dragons? One is the pure evil, one is Eberron that created life, and one created, I think, the magic force, if I'm not mistaken.
I expected you to say that they have mechanical dragons, which would be so cool.
They also have mechanical dragons, and
Nice.
it's a setting created by Kate Baker. It's important to know that it's not a 5e setting; it's a setting from a while back, and it was also implemented for 5e and now for 5.e with I think rising from the last war in the 2024 module, and now they have a new module that I'm escaping. I'm forgetting the name. However, it's rich and vast, and it has like this dark noir nuance to it. You can be like pure evil, pure good, like everything. It's ramified, and they have the guild. Actually, the houses that they're marked, they work much like a corporation. Like you have gnomes that deal with knowledge, and you go there, you take a ticket, and you
Oh,
wait
it's
in line.
unionized.
Yeah, it's very much unionized.
Cooperativa.
Cooperative.
But how you said this is an old setting and it's been brought into 5e recently.
Yeah.
How was the public perception of the 5e adaptation?
People love it. I think they also love the 2024 edition. Like people are running crazy, and it has a lot of lore that it's into
Because
place. Like you can go with espionage, magic is industrialized and they have like mechanical ships that fly. They have like the sort of crystals that power everything. They have Warforged, like a beloved class that have souls and intelligence and they keep evolving.
Chat GPT.
I'm asking. I'm asking because people are very disappointed with the 5e implementation of Spelljammer. Uh,
Who's
Wizards
Benjamin?
of the Coast sort of teased Spelljammer for a couple of years in 5e, and once it came out, once it was adapted to 5e, people were very disappointed with what they've done. So they still go to the old version of Spelljammer.
That tends to happen. And speaking of that, Dark Sun doesn't have a 5e adaptation, so you have to play it either, I think, second edition or fourth edition. But
If
I
left.
mean, the books are
Sorry.
written for those editions, if I'm not mistaken. But we played it 5e. You just adapt it. You take the
Yeah.
lore, you change the
Mechanic.
mechanics, and that's it. And
Mhm.
speaking of adaptations, yes, people have been both asking to make an adaptation of Dark Sun and asking not to make an adaptation.
Not to touch it.
Yes, not to touch
Ah,
it,
yes, the
because,
good question.
like I said, it has. I didn't quite explore, but there are a lot um, of moral issues, a lot of moral issues in these settings. So they are afraid that if they adapt it to today's age,
It will
it will
get
lose its
censored.
soul.
Hmm.
I think you can do it without, but it's a fair concern because
I think they have to bring someone whose soul and heart dedicated, and they're not doing it for because it has to be done. I think what they did with Eberron, it's nice because people I've seen ratings and I watch the community giving ratings and it's very high rated
so
for
basically
5e.
not touch it for the next 5 years or at least.
Not I think it should be touched, but
Oh my god, with
the right
consent.
but with consent and by the right person, you
Oh my
guys.
Yes.
god.
By
Okay.
the right person.
Who wants
So
to touch
Who wants to touch Spelljammer?
it would be a huge undertaking for anyone trying it.
With Spelljammer, at least the original creator wasn't involved in the 5e um, adaptation. His reaction was like, "It's cool that they did that. I'm happy for them."
Nice.
What I forgot to mention about Ravnica, and it was important, it's a Magic the Gathering setting that was adapted to 5e. So it's because it's out of the family of the Wizards of
Mhm.
the Coast, and they're trying to sort of make
And
blend the two
This
worlds.
is
and they brought Loxodons to our
Mm-hmm.
table. Yes,
Yep.
love them.
Yep. 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 Yep.
the
And
magic,
Leonis.
the gathering universe is so vast. That's a big universe on its own. Isn't Strixhaven, right? It's still from the.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's from Magic the Gathering as well.
Had no idea.
Yeah, it's crazy. I have some friends that are playing Magic the Gathering. It's a doozy.
You haven't introduced me?
You have other friends?
No, no, I do not. I the
Wait, you
ones.
guys have friends?
What's
What?
talking
I
about?
thought I thought we were playing D&D. You guys have friends? What?
Guys,
What
guys,
are we?
what's actually, you know what? Just stop the stream.
We're
What
playing
are
D and
we?
D today, right? That's why we came here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Actually, no, we're not playing D&D. We are playing Daggerheart.
Daggerheart,
Oh,
guys.
right.
I feel like Daggerheart is a new emerging system created by Critical Role, as you know, that in a way, what I really think it did right and why it's molded on this sort of like generation, I would say, of people, is because it took a lot of what was important to the community: simplicity, narrative impact, and like cutting right to the chase. And the system of hope and fear creates a story from the simplest of actions. I find it's very interesting to watch, and it's interesting to play by those players that want to tell a story, right? If you are focused on, I want to delve into dungeons, I want to explore the space, I want to go inside the rock where dwarves stayed there, because that's how I know I was not meant to be a dwarf, and I will never will, because the idea of sitting in a rock mining all day long and then going and drinking, is not for me. I would rather make butterfly airships.
Okay, so that means I'm going home today.
What
Sometimes
do you mean?
You were gonna play a fairy in Daggerheart, if I
Yes.
remember
it's a
correctly.
dark fairy.
Yes.
It's a dark fairy.
You even made it in the one shot by mention. You were mentioned that you were sick.
Yes.
Very nice. Is
Yes,
it
well,
curable? Did you kill me yet?
Edward had a different idea. He said to let you die, but we went and searched for a cure.
Wow, so nice of you.
and we found more troubles.
And we did not die yet.
And we did not make it double.
I have a question for you, Paul. Since you're such a fan of Daggerheart, which of the three settings that are available right now you for you like? It's Age of Umbra. It's the Feast Beast thingy. It's the other two that I don't know about.
It's the Wither Wild. I think there's five actually. It's the Wither Wild, which focuses on the battle between nature and civilization. Then we have Feast of Beasts, which something tells me that we might get deeper into it later on in this channel if you're interested.
Yeah, we have a poll up. If you're a patron, go and vote for the poll, not this poll, the poll that makes you choose between Quidditch, Feast of Beasts, and another life like this.
Feast of Beasts that goes a lot inspired from Delicious in Dungeon, and the
Yeah.
idea of dungeon exploration and cooking, monster food,
It's,
and being happy with your
it
friends.
sounds like a Mr. Beast video title. Feast of Beast.
Feast
We're
of
gonna
Beasts.
have some Beast burgers and some Beastables.
Some Feastables, yeah.
We're all waiting for Delicious in Dungeon
Mm,
Season 2.
And we're gonna drink
Aren't we all?
some Logan Paul Prime.
I really love Delicious in Dungeon. Then you have the
I
Age
hate
of
it, but it's
Umbra.
unpopular.
Why do you hate it? How can you hate it? You're not allowed to say that.
It made me sleepy, and they just sit around and eat.
Oh my god. Did you reach the end of this season?
No, I slept through it. I
Oh
just,
my god!
How about watch it when you're awake?
And when you're not tired.
you know what? That might be a good idea. But then I'm watching Critical Role.
Did watching it like spike your glucose and put you to sleep?
You know what? I don't think so.
Did you get an insulin crash?
That might be true. That might be true.
Um, Again, it's pretty easy to pick up. It's very friendly to the DM. Each setting that I've talked about comes with a map, a few pointers for you to know which directions to go, but not a lot of information that you get lost into it. Talking about Curse of Strahd. Um, there was the what should I said? There is the Colossus setting in which you are in a desert and you are actually fighting Colossus beings. And the way you fight them is you attack different parts of them. So you will scale on the back of a Colossus and go attack the head, or you would go onto its arm and attack the arm. It's like this Western fighting the colossal beings, sort of like protecting the areas. And then for those that are more in love with political frame, there is a faction war of five factions that are fighting within each other in sort of political intrigue and areas like that. um it's very if you are a DM that feels like you are maybe burned out by your system. I'm talking about myself, D&D, because the prep time is a lot. What I feel like Daggerheart manages to do is helps you with little prep create great stories.
And
The
it's also because the responsibility is not solely on the DM. You sort of make along the story.
Exactly, it's very
Collaborative.
collaborative, and it's truly when I read about Daggerheart, the idea of realm building really caught a good shape, because usually in the when I play D&D 5e I would say, oh, we are realm building. I was realm building, but in Daggerheart is like, this is the map, and now we work together and create something. What is this forest? What its name? La, la, and the players feel much more engaged in it because they put their feedback and they're curious to see how it takes shape. I suggest Daggerheart.
Well, it's nice from what we've played together with character building as well. There's a lot of time I create a character and I don't know what that character is and where I take them. Uh, Character creation here is also collaborative, which I
Yes.
found awesome. And talking to the rest of the party and answering questions in the character sheet about other characters, uh, that is genius because it bonds the party
It makes a good story.
from the start, makes a good story.
And forces a session zero.
Yeah, forces a session zero edit.
Or two session zero.
Like we did things I didn't even think about. My character didn't have a grandma to begin with, but
And
a
now she does.
grandma was
Yeah.
conjured,
Exactly.
BBT ribiti, you rock.
and she died killed by a bird.
That almost killed you
No,
guys as well.
Yeah.
I think it's the best character creation I've experienced as well.
And I think we also experienced it because it was fun. We were celebrating. We had cake. We had alcohol. We had, you know, each other.
Guys, that's the secret. I don't know about you, my fellow DMs. If you want people to have fun, just bring some alcohol, let them drink first, and then whatever you do is gonna be
And
fun.
ask them to buy you pizza because you DM'd and you deserve it.
Yeah.
Right? And please notice that Carla mentioned alcohol before friends.
We had
Because you
alcohol
guys
and
were
friends.
there.
Because alcohol is friends.
That's what
No,
happens.
I'm not encouraging this.
You're not encouraging alcohol.
She's not encouraging friends, no.
We're not-
You know what? I'm gonna punch
you aren't even like, stop with the pillows. Pillow talk. Ow.
you. I'm gonna pillow talk you in the head.
Okay. Um, is there something else that we want to talk about? Am I closing this?
I really wanted to talk about Middle Earth.
Oh,
I
there we
want to
go.
do something with Middle Earth.
Oh my
Like I said,
god. Can we
uh,
watch?
maybe not that. Maybe something else. I do.
Okay.
You have to use more words, honey. This
No, no, no.
time.
I wanna. I have never DM'd before. I wrote a one shot that I was going to DM, but the group never decided, never agreed on a date to meet. So
It was not us.
no, it was not this group. This was before I met Sylvania. Uh, so I kind of want to get my bearings in DMing with Middle Earth setting.
So come on, we want to play.
I am.
Is it ready?
It's at
I
the.
want plate mail.
You want to play what?
Plate mail.
He's already
Night
min
cheek
maxing.
lady.
No, no. Just no. It's from now.
A dragon?
We can have those. So
Then.
the at the point where I want to set the campaign or whatever it is, dragons will probably be the one dragon, like the original dragon, Glaurung, who is
Oh,
a flightless dragon and
big chubby guy.
big chubby guy, very smart, very
Friendly.
evil.
Smawag.
He did not listen to Sauron, who only wanted his well-being.
True, but it would be limiting in the sense that okay, we can have humans, we can have elves, we can have maybe some dwarves in there. But we can definitely have orcs, but you're gonna have to really convince me to make them player characters. Halflings, they weren't a thing in first or second age. I mean, they
They were
existed.
the traveler bits, no?
The
What?
Harfoots,
Yeah.
yeah,
But you would get to meet Elendil, and I think also Glorfindel.
yes. I mean, we meet Glorfindel in the third age as well, so he's still.
I don't know. I only saw the movies. You barely see him there.
Glorfindel is basically what does what Arwen does in the first movie.
Yeah.
Can we play wizards?
That would be a hard no.
Okay.
So Sauron was lying through his ass when he said that the necromancer is just a human dabbling in magic.
Very true. Yeah, so I have to think about how to make magic work in this system because I don't want to strip it completely. Of the everything the elves made is infused with magic and there's magic all around, but not in the same sense that we have it in D&D. So I want to really think about how I can mechanically bring magic into the player's hands.
Take it to the east. There's not that much written about that place, right?
Numenor, you mean?
No, the Eastern
the
West.
east,
The other west.
into take it into Harad,
Ah,
basically.
into Arad. Yes, yes.
Harad
Ah, yes,
with
yes.
the H.
That's true.
I want to go into Doriath. I want to go into like
I can
the
follow this conversation. I'm sorry.
I
maybe
don't.
allow my
We are
players
not
to
in
sail
Earth
to
for
Numenor
this.
if they really want to. I'll think about it.
Please do.
Yeah,
Uh,
please do.
yeah, Remus, that is very true. You can either go as a very long campaign or a really short one, and the main focus on Daggerheart is like cut straight to the action, right? You have to go through the forest to reach a certain point. You cut through that, walking to the point, you just reach towards the action. It's a lot of action movement. Also, because I like to barge in.
Like
I've
what
seen
part?
in my research that there is one ring setting for
The third
first
age.
edition or second edition.
I think there's a 5e
Is
set.
there?
Yeah.
Because I didn't find it.
Let's do some research, not say things out of our ass because we're professionals. They need
Yeah.
sponsorships.
Cool.
Yeah. The idea with it is that
Send me the
it's
books.
third age. It's third age, and I really want to go into like first or second age.
Okay, we will do some research. Steph will update us. And if we don't get a Middle East,
Oh wow.
no, no,
Middle
It's
it's
Earth.
Middle
actually
Earth. Sorry, sorry, I
there
had a
actually is
moment. A
one.
Middle Earth one shot or adventure, you blame him. Eee.
Blame me.
Putting the pressure on the DM. She should know better.
Yeah.
It's revenge.
She's never prepared.
It's okay. I will be ready to be punished
Oh, yes.
Why are you smiling about it?
because I'm ready.
Okay, do we want to wrap it up or do you want me yapping about Exandria and Aramant?
It's not Aramand.
Uh, is
It's
the world
Aramand.
Aramant?
Girl.
Let's, girl, let's
Girl.
Google it. Exandria, right?
No.
I'm sorry. I have things I get hung up on, and your bracelet was
Was I'm gonna
at the wrong angle.
I'm covering it. Exandria? Do you know things about it? No?
Which one
Aramand.
was it?
Hmm? Critical role setting. So
Oh,
it's
no, I don't know much about it.
it's nice because I think for the first time when it came out in
They have the artificer, right?
yeah, they have no the artificer is from
Eberron.
Eberron.
Okay,
They
I don't know
have the
about it.
blood I don't know how is it called, the the one that gets power from the
Describe it.
bub, the blood, the new race. The blood, not the bloodhound. I'm gonna Google it and come. The blood hunter. It's the blood
Blood
hunter.
Hunter.
It's, they have the blood hunter, but for the first time in history, when they introduced it, it was like
Subclass.
it's a class, but I was gonna saying about the world. Like when they introduced Exandria, there was like this coexistence of different races and like have them layered and have them come from the same backgrounds and not so isolated they were like in Faerun and other settings. And this I think this is what they came up with the table, like a more inclusive and more realistic, real world realistic environment. Uh,
Sort of like 2024 is trying to do with.
yeah, yeah, but they're failing.
And everyone wants, even though we like the lore attached to each race, everyone wants a more inclusive table because I want to play an orc in your Middle Earth campaign.
Yeah, and I want to play a smart
You're gonna
work.
have
Why
to
do I have to
convince
be a
convince
barbarian?
me.
I think this is a curiosity that I have for you guys at home. How are you feeling? Because there is a lot of resistance regarding the new age sort of like view about species and races, and then there's the people that from 4E or from 5E that say, "Oh my God, you are ruining the uniqueness of the setting. The orcs were made to be crazy. The goblin, everyone had their unique identity, and now." When we put them together and make it all the same thing, they lose their identity.
I don't, as a person, I'm not a firm believer of identifying, I don't know, one race or one class with a certain aspect. You can have depth, you can have variety, you can have things that surprise you can spin things on your head. And I think this is what Exandria did. Like, it's a modern world, story driven, and it's inclusive in different elements. Even though they have like the stereotypical things, they also spin the races or classes on their head.
Personally, I was like resistant to the idea at first when I heard what they wanted to do with 2024, and I was thinking, well, if I wanted to build a certain sort of character, I have to pick my race and my class and whatever, and be careful about the choices I make. And that's not what playing D&D is about. Playing D&D is about role playing, not min maxing. So when you make a race just a flavor of your character, you're you're allowed to role play whatever you want. And ultimately, if you think about it, on this planet, in this setting that we live in, we have humans, and there's all sorts of us. You don't have we don't all have the same strength
Sure.
stats.
Yeah.
True, true.
I mean, you can think
I'll
of
just
an
shut
elf
up.
that's been training since childhood. You can think of an orc that has been studying books and not
What if
touching
he's been sickly?
weights. Or yeah,
He's been sickly, and he increased his intelligence stat instead
exactly, exactly. So
to become a better wizard
it,
and cast more powerful spells.
I think it allows for better roleplay.
I agree that you need to build in some faults for the character. Um, I also agree that you can choose what those faults are.
Yeah, and also have the different flavor, like Stefan said. Like you don't always have to be like I don't know if you're an Asimar, a paladin, or a cleric. You can also have I don't know have roguish backgrounds and have that as a like creative license. Or if you're playing someone with a Cockney accent, it can also be a prince. It doesn't have to be like the working class stereotype. Or if you're playing a dwarf, you can also make him something that it's not I don't know warrior or barbarian and hits with an axe and I don't know speaks Scottish or other trope and drinks all day.
Yes, but this is us talking from a standpoint of people that have experienced D&D and a lot of sessions. But for like new players that need like something clear and easy to grab a hold on, if you go and say, "Oh, you can be anything. You're a dwarf." I think what really helps for, or what really helped in the past was like, "Oh, dwarves are like this, so I'm gonna pick that. That goes well with my personality. I'm gonna pick a halfling because that goes well with my personality." Now it's like so free flow that it's like the
It's
same
too much.
experience that you have in a mall. You go inside the mall and you're like,
Well, that's why they. I loved Tasha's rules, Tasha's Cauldron
Hmm.
of Everything rules, because they still kept. They had no choice but to keep the original choices for a race, but they gave you the opportunity to shift some of them,
mm-hmm.
and I think that's fine because you don't have to do it, but you have the opportunity to do it if you want, and you still have the guidelines that you're mentioning.
Yeah, yeah. Also, I think Tasha comes with like a part in the book where it says when you want to build your character, roll some dice to see backgrounds and stuff like that, which is very helpful for new players.
Yeah, exactly. And also for new players, this is why you need experienced DMs or pre-made characters. If you have like a new player who doesn't know anything and you know they're gonna have choice fatigue from everything, every possibility there's out there, you can also guide them. Like you can ask, "What's a trope you like? Ah, you like Robin Hood? Okay, you can make a rogue. I don't know, human character that da 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 does this." Or do you wanna be a sparkly elf? Okay, let's make you a sparkly elf. What about sorcerer elf with butterflies in your hair?
Yep.
Yeah, but like I have already so much to do. I have to create the world. I have to create the politics. I have to create
Pre-made
everything.
character sheets.
Stress. Now I have to create a character for you, George. What up?
Well,
Do something.
well,
D&D
Paul.
Beyond has pre-made character sheets. You can choose from there.
Well,
Ah,
wouldn't it be nice when you create a world and you create the setting and you create the adventure that you're planning on running, and you've got this grim dark adventure in mind, and then Ribbity Bibbity comes
Along.
along into your world, shooting butterflies out of their flower-shaped wand in your grim dark cityscape.
yes.
It did. I mean, I feel like it would be nice when the player comes over. Help me make this character, and you get to have a say in what how they fit.
Exactly.
I think this is the new nuance that, and I think that's why Dagger Heart again, love, sponsor me, hey Magic Monster, and Critical Role
It's
Cast.
Derek Rescue.
I'm so sorry, Darrington Press. Hashtag love you. Because now there is this nuance that was in this new age appeared where the DM doesn't have to shoulder everything, because there was this toxic perception about, oh, you're the DM, you better have everything prepared. I need you to know this and this and
True.
this and this. And now with the new age, it's like, dude, we're all human. The DM is as much as a player as you
You.
are. So the DM has to enjoy it themselves as well.
Yes, and I think it's very good that we're talking more about this, and we understand more about this, because if it comes with the territory, with how you were, how you learn to play the game, then you might not see certain aspects as being counterproductive.
Yep. Yeah.
Exactly. And now in the end, I want to talk about Araman
My
too.
God, talk about Araman.
So I really like the new setting from Critical Role Campaign 4, where Brandon Lee Mulligan is
Brennan.
Brandon Lee Mulligan.
Brennan.
I have dyslexia sometimes. Translating from Romanian to English is hard. I'm gonna come again. So,
Please come
Araman, the world
again.
of Araman, Brennan Lee Mulligan, campaign 4.
Is
Amazing.
it Thursday?
Is it Thursday yet? In that nerdy way that it's not believable, but we also love it. So, it's amazing that it's a post God world. So it starts in a world where the races have killed their gods, and it's, I think, 70 years past that, or 100.
Klingons.
Maybe like that. Maybe like Klingons. And there's this whole I don't know, aftermath after the gods, the shapers they call it, after the shapers war have died, and then the houses that were supposed to guide the other races and shepherd them, they sort of grabbed the power, and there was like a internal war. And it's amazing. There's so much detail, and again, so much depth. And I like that he's leaning on tropes like, I don't know, Irish fairies with the fairy, I don't know, cliches. But they're spinning it on their head, and you have variety, and you have a lot of creative potential.
That's because the DM is who he is and the experience.
And also they have a great creative team on board. They stole them from Wizards of the Coast, if I remember correctly.
The drama.
Yeah,
Well, it's for the better, right? I
yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
How
Uh,
many of you were surprised that they didn't use the Dagger Heart module as the new setting?
I am.
I was, but honestly, from a marketing perspective and from a viewership perspective, it makes a lot of sense because you're focusing on building a TTRPG system on the side, Dagger Heart, because it needs time to mature, and you're also using and satisfying the community that you they grew from, and
It's also the momentum that they already have, that D&D has.
Mhm.
You put Daggerheart in the title, and since it's a new system, even though they designed it and created it, um, it depends where, where your bread maker is. If your bread maker is Daggerheart, you're gonna promote that. But if your bread maker is your campaigns that you're running, you're gonna go with what has more momentum.
Honestly, it's the best because you put your eggs into baskets, so it's amazing.
Yep.
And I think it's hard to make two campaigns at once. I mean,
Yeah.
we've dabbled with it.
Yeah.
It's hard even at our level.
Yeah, and I think it's smart because they focused on Dagger Heart, as you said, letting it to mature and then keeping this as an ongoing game. Guys, I have a question for you. If you had, imagine you are put in a pocket dimension and you have a week or 2 weeks that don't pass in real life, what setting would you like to play with your friends? From the ones that we talked about, and why? And what would be the
Are we
plot?
physical in the realm, or are we safe at home?
You are at home. I'm
Okay,
just
okay.
saying that time doesn't pass and you're free and you don't have to worry about work and stuff.
You
Mhm.
don't have to worry about dying.
Dying.
I already have the book for it, so greyhawk for me.
Greyhawk. Why? And why? What would you be more interested in following in Greyhawk? Like, what would be the plot that you would like to follow?
It's not about the plot.
Mm-hmm.
It's the fact that I've heard this book being praised so many times that I want to experience it for myself.
Okay. Nice.
It doesn't look that appealing looking at it, but I still want to give it a shot, a fair try.
Amazing. Next.
Depends. What are my players? What do they expect? Because I am the one who wants to align with the players. If they want like a goofy, I don't know, setting, and we want to have fun and drink wine and I don't know, Cheetos on the side, or carrot sticks if you want to go healthy. Um, I would go with Rick and Morty or with Wednesday. I really want to try that. Wendy's, sorry. I want to dyslexia. Wendy's.
Oh my
Sorry,
God,
sponsor
it's
us.
Wednesday. We someone should make a
You
Wednesday
know what? A
chicken.
Wednesday, it's yeah. I'm gonna also throw that in the mix. Or if you want to like go very serious, I would go with Curse of Strahd or Word of Aramat. I'm sorry, I know we didn't discuss it.
Speaking of Goofy, Greyhawk even has a module that explains that is used to explain why initially gargoyles were designed without wings. Well, they did it to save space, but they actually made it lore wise why they didn't have wings initially.
Why?
Why?
It's
I
a
feel like this is
surprise.
like a joke.
It's
Why?
it's sort of a joke
No, I want to know.
module, yes.
I want to know. Tell us.
You're gonna have to
Because they're
wait after the break.
detachable.
They're detachable, and the people can
so
borrow them.
so the module is about a gargoyle that lost his wings and needs you to find them. And I almost played this for a campaign, but I chose Stormwreck Island instead. I'm still
Ah,
thinking if I made the right choice or not.
We should do that. I like you need sometimes one shots or settings that take the edge off. That's amazing. Like also like the familiar one shot. Where you're playing familiars and cats.
yes,
Yeah.
that would be
Imagine like playing um, Treasure Planet in Spelljammer.
Yes, please do that instead of Middle Earth.
But if I were to spend a couple of weeks in Pocket Dimension where I get to play, yeah, I'm spending my time smoking Old Toby in the
weak.
Shire with Pippin and Mary.
I would be
Yeah.
more interested in doing the Muppets version of Treasure Island
Oh my
and
God.
actually understand what are those rats on the boat sightseeing.
The ocean.
The ocean. Okay, so you would go for Spelljammer. Yes?
No, he said Middle Earth.
Me? Ah, no. Ah,
Uh,
okay.
uh, uh, Either or. I would
You
like it.
could break
Honestly,
them.
He said about
all
the
of
mountains.
these, I could go in a low magic setting and pick flowers in the forest for 2 weeks. I could go smoke old Toby with with Pippin and Mary. I could sail the high seas in space.
Chef,
How can you choose?
what kind of player are you? Do you enjoy more role play? Do you enjoy more combat? Do you enjoy more exploration? What do you feel like you enjoy
I think
most?
role play and exploration.
Okay, I see.
So combat brings out the min maxer in me, and I don't like the min maxer in me because he limits himself.
Oh my, Jeebus, that's very
Deep.
deep.
It's
And
self-aware. It's called self.
mature, yes.
Well, guys,
What about you, Paul? You didn't answer.
uh, I'm the host. uh,
Okay, let me ask you this, Paul. So imagine this scenario.
yes.
You are put in a pocket dimension for like 2 weeks, and nothing matters. You're still no time passes.
You don't have work.
What setting would you choose out of the ones that we discussed?
Honestly, I will go to sleep for 2 straight weeks.
I
We have an
think I
answer.
think there's a setting where it's in a pillow universe or something.
It's called Slipperella, and it's a twist on Sleeping Beauty. I can make that. I can see that happening.
No, I think what I would like to try is I don't remember the name of it. Uh, there is a setting. No, I don't remember. I won't say it. Actually really interested in Vampire the Masquerade.
Uh,
But not in the fact that I am interested in playing it like long term. I feel like one of my flaws as a player and as a DM is the political aspect and creating intrigue and stuff like that. And I feel like Vampire the Masquerade is, or from what I saw it, it's a lot about preparations and gathering allies and la la la. And then just a small part of it is like engaging and combat and stuff. So a lot of it is like making allies, creating connections, and with those connections and with those armaments and resources, you go and you deal with the problem. For me, it's as a DM, I saw a pattern that repeats itself into being okay. We have mission, exploration, dungeon, combat. Mission, exploration, dungeon, combat. So it's like that same thing that I fall.
You could make it more dungeon, for me at least.
Yeah, and again, it like falls into the need of the players at the table. But I need to get better at political intrigue. Should I read? Yes. Do I? No.
So
Do I know how to? Also, maybe.
Paul is the forever DM that says he's not playing a lot, but secretly he's thinking all the time that how he wants to be a better DM by learning to play Vampire the Masquerade.
Shush. He caught me.
You
Come
know,
to me.
you know what? I thought about a new setting that doesn't exist, and I want to make it Bridgerton.
Yep, she's been talking about it for a while now.
Bridgerton.
Cue the music.
Cute music. You know what? That would be an amazing sponsorship. Please, Netflix, if you sponsor us, I will make you when this
Netflix
TTRPG.
Romania.
I have the perfect setting for Carla is the sponsor chase setting
We're very poor, Steph.
where you play as a team of small time influencers that try to get the attention of big brands.
Yes. Yes.
That sounds much like my work, and I don't like
Why
it.
don't you sponsor us?
You want
Am
home
I-
appliances sponsoring
am
you,
I
Paul?
here?
Do you
Am I
want?
not here?
we need fridges.
Somebody tag Monster in the comments. Maybe we get a Monster
Oh my god.
sponsorship.
We need to focus
Yeah.
on sponsors. What sponsor would best? Guys, which setting would you play tomorrow if you had the chance, like 2 weeks? Or which settings would
Setting
it be?
6, setting 7.
6, 7, 6, 7, go. And another question, maybe you can leave it in a comment. What was the weirdest campaign you've played in, or what made it interesting? But if your campaign feels like boring, maybe it's not the players, maybe it's the world, maybe it's not you, maybe you need some inspiration from other settings. So read
Or
a
maybe it's
book.
you.
Eh,
You're just
Hey,
bored.
what do you mean maybe it's me? Is that like a,
Not
you know
you.
what?
Not
No,
maybe it's the
What do you
phone.
mean? You know what?
no,
Maybe it
no. It's
is you.
never you.
Yes, it. You know what? Cut the camera. Of course, it is you. It's always you. What are you talking about? We didn't even make pools anymore, guys. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Those 8, 9 of you that stick with us, I
Thank
hope you
you.
enjoyed this live talk format. Honestly, I think we're getting better at it.
Yeah, this time we aired on time,
We
and
aired
we're
on
gonna
time.
smoothly
We didn't
exit.
have microphones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my
we
god,
aired
I forgot
we
about
aired
that.
on time. Our microphones were off, but
Maybe next time we're gonna
I
get.
was not here.
people were still engaged. People were commenting. Okay.
Honestly, yes.
My aim is to get better microphones if we can find the money.
Sony,
I
please sponsor us.
Sony,
Sennheiser,
Netflix, Darrington Press, Dark Sun,
Bridgerton.
Bridgerton, whoever you are there and you feel like sponsoring and
Hi,
helping the
McDonald's
world.
Romania. Dristor Kebab,
Oh
please
my
sponsor us.
god,
I would
noodle
love
pack. Noodle pack me up. Cheers to you guys. Cheers to us. See you next time.
And tune in later today if you're a member of the channel for episode 2 of Unbound.
Oh my god.
And if you're not a member of the channel, join,
Subscribe.
subscribe,
Yes.
like,
Leave a
comment,
Share.
send us your credit
Your
card details,
social
give us
security
your
number.
grandmother's maiden name.
I am willing to sell a lot for a subscription.